welcome to another video. My name is Eddie, and today I'm going to share the secret behind the chops. So to start with, I love gospel chops. I love drummers like Aaron Spears, rest in peace, Eric Moore, and all those guys chopping away. And when I was younger, I just didn't understand what chops were and are. What are chops? You know, can I find a list of chops somewhere? Can I practice that? And can I, go and do that on my own? And when I went to see drummers at a drum clinic, it was amazing. It was like magical, right? You see them play those chops and crazy stuff in front of you, but what are they actually doing? And when you ask them, they'll tell you like, oh yeah, this is my favorite chop. And they're like maybe playing it a little bit slower. And then maybe you remember it when you come home, but most of the times it was like, what was it again that he was playing? Or maybe if you remember it, you have just one random chop, and that's cool, but where do they come from? How do I make chops on my own? And how can I develop chops like through a chop machine or something? And I really thought there must be a big secret to playing chops, but it turns out there's not. And before you click away, I'm going to share the secrets today. It's just that it's not really a big secret because the chops come from actually two rudiments, or maybe three, because you just need two rudiments, singles and doubles, and a combination of those, paradiddles. That's what it's all about. You just need a set of tools to build those chops, to move your hands around, to replace a bass drum, and to build those chops from the rudiments that we all know. There's no big secret. I mean, that is the big secret, actually. And it's just really that easy. So before we dive in, chops are also referred to as patterns or blocks, or as I like to call them, groupings, right? It's a grouping of a certain sticking that you repeat or that you play around the drum kit. So I'm going to share with you today how can you build those chops from a single stroke, from a double stroke, or from a paradiddle. And, once you understand that, you kind of have an unlimited amount of chops or possibilities of playing around the drum kit, right? That's what you're here for, so let's dive in. Let's throw some rudiments through the chop machine, I like to call it. And let's start with a group of 4, because that fits nicely in your 16th notes, all right? Let's keep it simple to start. Now, we have singles, doubles, and a combination of those. Most of the times, a chop is a combination of singles and doubles, right? Paradiddle, basically. So let's look at the 4 basic paradiddle patterns and pick one and just get started. So we have right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, where the double's at the ending. Then we have the double in the middle, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, which is an inverted paradiddle. Then we have the double at the beginning and kind of like in the middle, all right? Today, I want to get started with the second paradiddle, the inverted paradiddle. And we're going to grab that group of 4, right, left, left, right. Now, that doesn't really sound like a chop or something, right? So the first tool that we're going to add is, I want to have a bass drum in there, because adding a bass drum in your chop is just awesome. So let's replace the last right with a kick drum. So we're going to get right, left, left, kick. Let's repeat that a few times. That doesn't really sound like a chop yet. Next step is going to be playing more dynamics. Let's get those doubles as soft as possible. So we play them as ghost notes. Sounds better, right? It's starting to sound like something. Now here's one of the most important tools that you need to build your chops. It's moving your hands around. And that seems easy, but I promise you, as soon as you start moving your hands around, your brain is going to think like, huh? We were just playing this on the snare. What are you doing? All right, so those sounds are going to throw your brain off a little bit. So let's keep it slow and repeat the same pattern, right, left, left, kick, moving the right hand only around the drum kit. I add a little sauce in there. We'll get to that later. Sounds pretty cool, right? Now let's see if we can put it into a groove. So there's two ways that we can play this chop. We can play it at 16th notes. All right, let's play it a little bit faster. Or we could play it as 32nd notes, twice as fast, all right? All right, that's starting to sound like something, right? Starting to sound pretty cool. Now, you might have heard what I did there with my crashes. Sometimes, or a nice tool to add to your chop vocabulary is that sometimes when you hit your cymbal, you want to add a bass drum. All right, so. So you get right, left, left, kick, kick, left, left, kick. All right, so I say sometimes because it's also cool to not hit a bass drum with a crash cymbal, all right? So play around with that. Now, there's other ways to make groupings. We now decided to pick a group of 4, which is cool, but what if we pick a group of 6? So we kind of keep the same pattern, but we just add another right, left in front of it. Right, left, left, kick. And remember, let's add the dynamic tool right away. Left hand stays as soft as possible. Let's start moving our hands around. Also sounds pretty cool, right? Now, here's where that magic actually happens. Those chops are going to sound amazing when you combine those chops together, right, with other chops. So you have to understand that building a chop vocabulary or different groupings takes time. But the beautiful thing is that it's just our basic rudiments. So we already have what we need to build chops. We just need to decide on what am I actually playing and how do I build those chops? By adding dynamics, by replacing one of the hands with your foot, or adding a kick when the hand is playing, and moving your hands around. Now, the next tool is combining chops together. Now, this is where the grouping system, as I like to call it, comes into place. You have to understand that 16th notes are 16 notes in total if you pick one bar, right? You have to understand that it's not always about groupings of 4. Now we just added a group of 6, okay? So if we play 2 groups of 6, we have 12 notes. We add another group of 4, and we have 16 notes. So 6, 6, 4. Let me show you. That's a 1-bar fill, all right? If I want to get this fit into a 32nd notes fill, you just play it twice. So this is really the most easy way to start with learning chops and turning your rudiments into crazy groupings and chops and fills and however you want to call it. All right, so let's put that into a groove. Let's play it in 30-second notes. All right, so of course there's way more stuff you can do, but that's for another video because otherwise it's going to be a very long video. For example, you could move your left hand around. All right, you could also, what I like to call start and stop, so you don't always have to play the same chop or you have to play it all the time. Right, so I'm playing around a little bit with other things that I like to play. So combining 30-second notes and 16th notes, or even 8th notes, or a quarter note. Right, mixing subdivisions is another tool that helps you play those chops in a cool way. So we could also use a grouping of 5. Right, left, right, kick, kick. We could play that 3 times plus 1 note is 1 bar. Pretty cool, right? You can make all kinds of different groupings. If you understand that groupings are chops, and you can mix those groupings around in 16th notes, in 32nd notes, or even in 16-note triplets. Right? That was a grouping of 5 in 16-note triplets. You have an endless amount of fills, groupings, chops that you can play. All right? So I hope this helps. Get started on your basic chops, and yeah, please let me know in the comments if you want to know more, or if you want to grab my free guide. I have a free guide that shows you how this grouping system actually works. It's my whole system in a small ebook, and it's free. So yeah, you can find it in the description, and please let me know in the comments if you want a longer video, or want to know more, or want to go deeper, or more like this and then with other chops. I am just super excited to show this because it's so easy, All right, see you in the next one.